tried forever getting out on my own. Every time I do this my way, I get caught in the lies of the enemy. I lay my troubles down, I'm ready for you now. Bring me out, come and tell me in the dark now. Every day by myself I'm breaking down. I don't wanna fight alone anymore. Bring me out, from the prison of my own pride. I gotta be a hope I can't deny. In the end I'm realizing I was never meant to fight on my own.
Alright everyone, it's your boy K Natsuki here, back at again with another new What If. And with another new spanking hot What If video. And today, I was actually thinking of making a part 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 of something. Like, what if Naruto was born as a tailed beast? But then I got an idea. And, by the way, I own no art in this video, okay? Anyways, I got an idea, and oof went my brain. Just oof. And so, courtesy of your boy, K Natsuki, I bring to you, mortals, one of the greatest what-ifs I think I'll ever produce. What if Naruto was Shukaku's son? Part 1. I know it's random, but it's original. How many of you can say that this what if has been done before? I know a lot of you are waiting patiently for what if Kurama and what if Naruto was Kurama's son, or born as a tailed beast, but in all of those what ifs, he's either Matatabi or Kurama's son, and I must admit, it's been done before. Even the Matatabi and Kurama's son one has been done before, but this is entirely new. It's original. So let's hit the road with it, I guess. This is what Naruto will look like. He will not have the tail you see in the background. Okay? But he will have this. By the way, the art belongs to Hendy Art. Just a shout out to him. Subscribe to his channel. He makes excellent art like this. And he also has made 2 through 10-tailed Narutos. So yeah. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin. Now, first is the backstory, the prologue, right? Every great story has to have a prologue. And hold on. What? That is terrible. Yo, stomach be fucked up, bish. But anyways, as I said, without further ado, let's begin. How Naruto would have been born is his dad, of course, is Shukaku. By the way, y'all might be wondering, so wait, will Naruto be weak in this? No, he will not. Because, I'ma say, because this is my what if, and I am basically God in this what if, that Kurama was wrong. That the number of tails you have does not define your power. For instance, Shukaku once beat Gyuki in a fight without any help. As I know that will never happen and never has happened, but it's my what if, so shut up. As if he wanted to, Shukaku could actually fight Kurama and win. So yeah. Pretty much, Shukaku I'ma say since he's kind of like he's made of sand, he can basically shift the sand around to create a human form. Okay? A shukaku basically creates a human form and is, walking around. As, yeah, he pretty much is overpowered. Howard just, walking around as basically he sees Kushina Uzumaki, or one of the 3 last Uzumakis on planet Earth. Now, Shukaku basically, he talks to this woman, and they basically get to know each other. Now, because I'm not into all that sappy love story crap, I'ma just say 2-year time skip. I'm just say 1-year time skip, Naruto born, boom. Kushina is still the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, so the whole arc with Obito attack, so the whole fight with Obito and the Nine-Tails attack still does happen. However, the attack would have been different, as Obito basically would have extracted the Nine-Tails out of Kushina, and Shukaku would have been angry that his wife was dying, as Shukaku basically would have shapeshifted back into his original form, as he would look dead at Obito and say, You. As Shukaku would, of course, gain, since he's in this giant form, he would gain a insane personality. As in most of my what ifs, Shukaku will have a sort of a mix between Stain's personality, Hidan's personality, and basically all the insane and absolutely effed up characters in all of anime you can think of. Basically, he's like Himiko Toga on steroids and male. So yeah, he's that type of insane. As basically, he says, Obito Uchiha, you're about to die, as he holds his hand out and begins swiping and crushing everything in his path. As fun fact, if you did not know, Shukaku's actual Kikigenkai is wind. I thought it was sand. But boy was I wrong. I guess the wind must keep the sand from falling apart or something. So yeah. I don't exactly know how his Kikigenkai is wind and not sand, but I'm not. I ain't pulling any punches here. I ain't trying to figure out a whole friggin' mystery over here, just trying to make a what if. Now, back to the what if. As Shukaku basically would begin slamming Obito, would basically grab Obito and begin slamming him repeatedly against the ground, buildings, and everything he could. As then he would grab Kurama by all 9 tails, as Kurama would be friggin' wincing and whining in pain, as he would basically grab him by all 9 tails and begin swinging him around and doing the Hulk's most famous move. If you didn't know, the Hulk's most famous move in all of creation is the Puny God Slam. As, yeah, imagine Shukaku Puny God slamming, well, Kurama. As, if you don't know what the puny god slam is, you ever seen that one part in the original Avengers where the Hulk, where basically Loki says, "Enough! I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by the likes of..." And then Hulk grabs him by the legs and begins throwing him around. That's called the puny god slam. Yes, the fans have actually given it a name. Now, back to the wave. As Kurama basically would have been thrown into a mountain. Shukaku would basically turn back into his humanoid state and back into his human form. As he would then say, "I've dealt with the problem." As everyone would then say, "Demon! Demon!" And people would begin coming out with types of seals trying to attack Shukaku. As he then says, "What do you mean, demon? I just defeated the Nine Tails for you all, and this is how you repay me?" As he would then say, "Very well then. Sand tsunami," he would say, as suddenly a ginormous tsunami of sand would sprout out of the ground and cover the entire village. As he would then say, You disrespect the hero who helped, you disrespect the one who helped your village, then you'll drown. You dare disrespect me? Obito already defiled my wife, but now you defile but now you defile your leader? Very well then. As the sand tsunami would appear and flatten the whole village, as he'd then say, "Colossal sandstorm," as suddenly tornadoes of sand would begin swirling around, destroying everything. Now, y'all might be wondering, wait, what about Naruto? Shukaku basically would still be right now, he'd be in his human form with Naruto in his hands. In his arms. As he would say, "I will kill every single one of you goddamn bastards. I will kill every single one of you goddamn bastards." And then he would then say, "And don't even get me started on the Akatsuki. They will." Don't even get me started on, of course, the Uchiha. If any of the Uchiha live, I will kill them for even existing. As for now on, the Uchiha is a disgrace to this village and my wife. Understand?" As basically he would say, "Good. Now, Sandhole. Sandhole." As he and his son would basically fall on the ground, and beneath him would open up. And basically, he would be teleported to, the Sand Village. To basically the Cloud Village. As he would appear he would appear at the gates, as he would knock on the gates and say, "May I speak with your leader? And may I speak with the Kage of this village?" As they then say, "Who are you?" As he would then say, I am Shukaku." You may call me a demon of sand and wind, but I need your help. As he then say, I've heard that this place is a blessing for both, and is the best place for both Biju and Jinchuriki. So, here's what I need your help with. As he would basically open his arms and reveal baby Naruto. As they'd say, a baby? Did you kidnap it? As he'd say, what? No, what kind of sicko does that? This is my son. Don't you see the resemblance? As they'd look at his yellow eyes, then they'd look at Shukaku's yellow eyes. They would look at the black marks of his eyes. They'd look at Shukaku's black marks at his eyes. They'd look at his hair, and they'd look at Shukaku. Because right now he's in his human form, so he'd have Shukaku's hair. As he'd then say, his name is Naruto Uzumaki. His mother was one of the last Uzumakis on Earth. Her name was Kushina. As he would then say, train my boy well. I'll be back for him on his 8th. I'll be back for him when he turns 10. And I'll bring him, well, to a safe place. As Shukaku would then laugh menacingly and insanely, as then a ginormous tornado of sand would appear. Would basically appear right where he was, and that laugh would just basically be carried up into the heavens. As it would get more louder and more insane and maniacal. As then the laughter would stop. As the Raikage would basically look down at Naruto and say, so this is Shukaku's child, I didn't peg him as the type for having a child. Well, I guess, we should, get him accustomed to his new home. As Naruto basically is still a baby and has no idea what's going on. We skip to the age of 4. Naruto has been living in the Cloud Village quite peacefully, as the Leaf Village would have rebuilt itself, and of course gotten rid of all the sand, but the Uchiha would have been exiled, as they knew that if any Uchiha were living in their village, that the Lord of Sand would literally obliterate them. As they would, hold on. As basically, Naruto doesn't exactly know who his dad or mom is, as they would have kept it a secret from him. But Naruto would be training. Sometimes, when he was in bad situations, he'd hear a voice. A voice coming from not his head, but somewhere near. As whenever he was attacked by, and whenever he was in training, and basically they attacked while he was sparring with someone, instead of the opponent's punches or attacks landing on Naruto, a giant barrier of sand would surround him. As yes, Naruto has a sand barrier. Kind of like Gaara's, except it's about 1 billion times faster, and it's impenetrable. It is called Divine Sand. So yeah, Naruto is basically 4 years old, and one day he is sent to an academy or a training area. As I have no idea who the ship should be, please tell me, who do you think the ship should be? Okay, as Naruto basically goes to an academy and sees a whole bunch of people. As their Jonin instructor, as basically their teacher, is Killer Bee, who, thank God, has not gotten to the rapping phase yet. Because, I mean, seriously, Killer Bee, I have to agree with A. He's a bit annoying when it comes to the rapping. Seriously, it's like someone stuck a black guy from the desert from the year 1973 and basically just teleported him into from the year 1962 and just teleported him into, well, no, it's like someone took a black guy from 2012 and just teleported him to friggin' 907 Japan, like 907 BC Japan. As that is what I think Killer Bee is like. Now, back to the what if. As he would have a girl named Yugato in his class, and a couple of... because I don't really know a lot of... Because I don't really know a lot of Cloud Shinobi names, or a lot of Cloud Shinobi in general, I'm going to put some people from the Leaf into his class. Okay? Okay. Shikamaru will be in his class. Now, Tenten, Lee, Kiba, and others will be in his class. Ino will be in his class. As Naruto basically, he says, "Hi, my name is Naruto Uzumaki." As he'd say, "That's impossible, all the Uzumaki are dead." As he'd then say, not exactly. There's still a few of us roaming around. And I'm only half Uzumaki. I don't know who my mother is or my dad is. Let's see. My goals are to meet my dad for the first time. Meet my mother. Train, become strong. And just, live a good life. As Naruto right now doesn't have any big old goals. Like killing someone, reviving a clan, none like that. As basically, Naruto is about the age of... Now let's skip to when Naruto is the age of 8. As he would have gotten pretty popular in the Cloud Village. His father would basically say, the Raikage would basically be like a grandpa to him. And Killer Bee would more or less be like a father. Surprise, surprise, Killer Bee is Naruto's Jonin instructor. His team consists of him, Shikamaru, and Lee. As Lee is chakraless. However, well, no, I'm gonna say he has chakra. Okay, because I know that Lee was born without chakra. So yeah, I'ma say that Lee's chakra natures are earth and wind. I think earth and air. Okay? As pretty much he is, Lee. Nothing really fancy going on there. As well, pretty much they're sent on their first mission, which is basically a simple supply run. As they're going through to the land of. As they're basically going through to the land of fire, where the Leaf Village is. As they basically are walking to the Leaf Village, as suddenly they just see a old man, or a not exactly old, but they do see a man. Now this man has he's no bad guy or any problems. Instead, this old man is simply just a guy wandering around. As basically the four ninja go at a resting stop and see this old man. As they then say, "Sorry, we're on a supply run. Can you tell us where the Leaf Village is? We're basically trying to steal supplies from the Leaf Village." As the old man would then say, "Oh, I know. In fact, I know a lot of what you're trying to do. You're trying to steal from the Leaf Village as a supply run for your village, am I right? So you can stop the Leaf Village from becoming the most powerful again." As they'd then say, "How do you..." As the man would then say, "Don't worry, I'll help you. I hate the Leaf Village." As basically, the old man would then say, "However, before I help you with anything, I need you to prove your strength to me." As they would say, "What do you mean?" As the old man would then say, "I know every way in and out of the Leaf Village. I know where they keep their largest stocks of items, and I know basically the ins and outs of that place. However, if you want me to help you, you have to beat me. Your strongest has to beat me in a fight." As he then says, "So, who's your strongest?" As they point at Naruto. As Naruto basically is sent to fight the old man, and to fight the man. As this man has a red beard and a sort of weird crown. As the man basically, he rushes at Naruto and inhales and then breathes out lava. As the man basically then begins using taijutsu and still breathing out lava. As Naruto then says, "Who are you?" And as everyone, including Naruto, is wondering who is he. As the old man basically is fighting Naruto par on par when it comes to taijutsu. But the old man can't even hit through Naruto's shield. As he then says, "Well, let's see how you deal with this." As the old man would basically pull out a shuriken out of, and would basically pull out a case out of his pocket, as he'd then say, this is the infinite fire shuriken holder. Out of it comes infinite fire shurikens. Well, that is if you have the chakra to supply. As basically old man begins putting his chakra into the case. As then suddenly he then suddenly grabs fiery shurikens out of them. Now they're like handheld size. So he begins throwing the shurikens at Naruto. As Naruto basically then says, sand wall, and blocks the shurikens. As the wall then turns to glass, as the man then laughs a bit and says, well, you're a smart one, aren't you? As the man then chuckles again and says, how about this? As the man then without doing hand signs, then says, great fireball jutsu, and creates a ginormous orange fireball. And a ginormous orange and red fireball that's just hurling towards Naruto. As Naruto basically then creates a giant arm out of sand. As Naruto, unlike Gaara, does not need a giant thing of sand and on his back, as Naruto can generate sand from himself. An infinite amount, and it does not take away chakra or health, or anything like that. As Naruto basically begins using giant arms of sand to try and hit and to block the attack, as suddenly a ginormous glass arm falls down to the ground, as the old man then says, okay, how about no more fighting? Like, how about no more jutsu? As the man then rushes over to Naruto and kicks and basically knees him. As Naruto then says, how about this? As he then says, as air bullet jutsu, and multi-air bullet jutsu. As the air bullets are basically being fired from all directions. As it's like 30 and 300 invisible air bullets swirling at the man. As the man basically dodges 75%, but is hit by 25 of the bullets. As the man then says, geez, kid, looks like you have your dad's strength, huh? Ah, well. You do have your dad's strength, but you can't harness it now, can you? As he then says, alright, how about this? As he then says, as magma blade, as it's basically like a lightning blade, also known as the Chidori, except he creates a sword out of magma and fire in his hand, as he then slashes it at Naruto. As Naruto basically would have read some scrolls about powerful types of jutsu, as he would remember one from the 4th Hokage. By the way, in this what if, the 4th Hokage, aka Minato, is shukaku, okay? As I must say that the way the Rasengan works is it uses Biju chakra combined with wind. Okay? So I'ma say that Ashura still invented it. However, he needed Biju Chakra, basically, to use it, as it was basically just like an idea he was creating. But back to the what if. As Naruto would begin manipulating the wind around him to the point where it was like to the point where it began rotating in a orb form. As Naruto basically would then say, Rasengan! And smash it right into the guy's chest. And smash it right through the lava blade, and right through the magma blade, right into the guy's chest, as the guy would be flung back about 10 feet away, as he'd then say, not bad, kid, not bad at all. Looks like you really are your father's pride, after all. As Naruto, still confused, then says, what do you mean my father's pride? You know who my father is? As the man then says, of course I do. I'm your uncle. As, let me show you what the man looks like. As the man looks like this. If you did not know, this is humanoid Son Goku. As Son Goku then says, the name's Son Goku. The name is Son Goku. I'm your uncle. Basically, you may call me the Lord of Magma. You may call me the Lord of Lava, Flame, and Magma. As Son Goku would then say, anyways, as I stuck true to my word, I'll help you out. As he'd then say, I know every way in and out of that village. I can tell you that there is a crack through a wall nearby the old Uchiha where the Uchiha compound used to be. While they were rebuilding it, while they're rebuilding the walls, they kind of left a crack on accident. You go through there, take a left. You go through there, take a left, then you take a right and keep going forward. You go in there, take a left, then you take another left. No, you go in there, take a left, and then you take a right. Move forward, then you take a right, and then you take a left until you get to like the center shopping district. There they should have all the goods. Now, it's very important that you guys only go a route I told you, or else you could get caught. Now, only go during the daytime, because during the daytime, these areas will be at complete rush hour, and no one will notice you're there. As Son Goku would say, also, nephew, as he would look over to Naruto, I understand you want to know who your dad is, huh? As Naruto would then say, yeah. As Son Goku would then say, well, I'm not gonna really spoil anything because you have 6 years till you meet him. But I can tell you this. Your dad can kick my ass. As Son Goku, basically, you would then basically stomp his 2 feet on the ground, as he would then jump away. As basically, the team of Sand Shinobi would then question what the hell just happened. As people would then say, wait, that was Naruto's uncle. As they'd say, wait, that was Naruto's uncle. Holy cow. As Naruto and his friends basically get to the Leaf Village at where the crack is, they go through it during daytime when it's rush hour. They get the goods and they get all sorts of food, water, and they get food, hydration, weapons, clothing. Basically they rob the whole village blind. And then they go out. And then they go the exact same way they came in and leave. As Naruto's basically, after the whole heist mission, Naruto is confused as he looks up to the sky and thinks, wait, if that was my uncle, then who's my dad? What is my dad even? As Naruto, of course, would have noticed that he is not like ordinary kids, and that he is something far stronger. As Naruto basically would begin reading up, and would basically, while they're walking to their village, they would see a sort of old shop, which had a whole bunch of scrolls about history. As Naruto would basically walk in and say, "Excuse me, sir, I'm pretty sure the thing they have is real, or, I don't exactly know the type of currency they have in Japan. I'm in Naruto, but I'ma say yen, okay?" As he'd say, "Please, I have some yen. Can you give me anything on a man called Son Goku?" As the old man would then smile and say, "Sure. But are you sure you want to get that? Are you sure you want to read that? Do you even know who or what Son Goku is, kid?" As Naruto would say, "No, not exactly, but I do know he's my uncle." As the old man would then say, "Tell you what, if you can do a hard jutsu right in front of me without any struggle, you can have it for free." As Naruto would have said, "Deal." As he would open his hand out and say, "I don't really know any hard jutsu, but this is one I can do." As he would open his hand out, and suddenly a orb of wind would begin to form. As the old man would look at the orb and say, "My God." Wait to test if it's actually strong or not. As the man would basically bring Naruto to his backyard, which basically had a whole bunch of slabs of stone. As he would bring Naruto to the biggest, which was 3 feet thick. As he would say, "Hey, please redo that attack and throw it at this slab of stone." As Naruto would say, "Okay." As he basically would recreate the orb of wind. As then he would say, "Rasengan!" and throw it and smash it right into the stone. As suddenly it would explode. And as suddenly the stone would explode and be destroyed. As the old man would then say, "My God, that's the 4th Hokage's fabled jutsu. How do you know it?" As Naruto would then say, "I read up on it. It's called the Rasengan." The 4th Hokage was immensely powerful. His name was Minato, right? But no one knew his last name. As the old man would then say, "Yep, here you go," as he would basically hand Naruto the scroll, and Naruto would leave. As when Naruto got back to the Cloud Village, he would basically open the scroll and begin reading. As I'm basically going to read the chapter for the scroll for you guys. Entry 1 of 5. Warning. For any who are afraid of supernatural creatures or demons, I advise you not to read this scroll unless you're looking for a good fright. This scroll contains knowledge of one of the strongest beings on Earth, the demon of fire, magma, and lava, Son Goku. Son Goku is a four-tailed demon. Son Goku is a four-tailed giant demon ape. He can spew lava out of his mouth, crush the ground with his punches, even jump far distances. He can manipulate fire, magma, and lava. These are his chakra natures. He also has the fabled Scorch Release, and he also has Scorch Release. Legends say that Son Goku used to live in the land of Iron. However, he was basically thrown out of his village by out of his land by those who wanted to build villages. Son Goku then left to an unknown destination, and many years later attacked the land of Iron. Son Goku is a very dangerous threat. He can turn into a human form, as it would have a picture, as the picture would look like this. As it would then say, if anyone was to come in contact with this, then be grateful that you survived one fireball. He is one of the 10 strongest beings in the entire world, and can even battle, as he and the other 9 are at equal power. Yes, I'm making it so that the 10 Tails, or the Jubi, is a separate being. Okay? Back to what Naruto's reading. As it would then say, Son Goku is a dangerous threat, an immortal spirit of power and strength that should never be encountered, and if you do, be grateful that you are alive. As Naruto would basically put down the scroll, as he then say, "Holy. So my uncle's some sort of demon? Does that mean my father's a demon?" As then a voice would come from Naruto and from nearby, as it would then say as the voice would then say no. And as the voice would merely say yes. As Naruto would wonder who the hell was his dad. As after that day, Naruto would basically begin wandering the Cloud Village for any of these scrolls. As whenever he went out on missions, he would always look at sort of libraries for these scrolls, as there was 10 in total. As as we do a time skip of about 3 weeks, Naruto has collected most of the books, as he right now is missing only one. As right now he's only missing the first scroll. And right now he's only missing the last scroll, or the scroll of Shukaku. As Naruto has read all about the demon, and all about the 10 and demon lords, as that's what they are called. As, yes, in this what if they're actually demons. As Naruto would be reading through, well, all these scrolls and finding out that they all must have been related to him. As he would have found out most of their Kekkei, like Matatabi had blue fire, Isobu had water, and Goku had magma and lava, Koyoku, I do not know Koyoku's release, please tell me in the comments. I'm pretty sure that Saiken has some sort of acid or bubbles. Chomei, I don't know Chomei's release either. Please tell me what Koyoku and Chomei's releases are in the comments. And I do not know Gyuki's either. Tell me those 3 releases, please. As Naruto basically would be looking through all of them for some sort of sign of, well, anything he could to find out who his dad was. As Naruto would obviously know, he did not look like Uzamaki's. He had yellow eyes, he had sort of black symbols coming from his eyes, brown hair, and, well, and brown hair. As he also knew that he had control over sand and wind. As Naruto basically would have searched throughout all of the scrolls he could find, but the last one, which was only available in one place, on Earth. On their world. As I'ma say quite literally, the entire Naruto world is basically the five lands, and then about 26 other unknown lands that use no chakra. And that use chakra, but weaker. Okay? As Naruto basically would be confused, as the one place on Earth where the 10th and final scroll was a place that he was told to never go, as it was called the Sand Village. As the Sand Village was basically a place of, not the Sand Village, the village hidden in the Mist Village, or the Bloody Mist. The village hidden in the mist. Or the village hidden in the Bloody Mist. As I think the Mist Village is called Mizugakure. I might be wrong. As he would basically always want to go there, but they'd always tell him, no, you cannot. As we skip to when Naruto is 10. As he finally has acquired the 10th and final scroll. The reason why I'm skipping through most of Naruto's life is because nothing exciting really happens until he's at the age of 10. Okay? As Naruto's 10th birthday is tomorrow, as he is told that a visitor and that his dad will see him on his 10th birthday, with a gift. Now, y'all might be wondering, wait, a gift? Allow me to explain. Naruto would have eventually been given a mission to the Mist Village. However, when he got there, the scroll would have been missing, and for a year and a half. As Naruto was cheesed off and angry, as Naruto basically would have been training for his birthday tomorrow, as he had no idea what surprises were around the corner, or who he would meet. As we skip to when Naruto would read through all the scrolls he had, and would see that, and would basically skim through any sorts of relations that he could find. But Naruto would not know, and he would not be able to find any sort of direct relations to him. As we skip to when Naruto's birthday happens, as the entire village is having a banquet feast. Naruto, of course, is at the center of the feast. People are dancing, music is playing. It's like a very big occasion when Naruto's birthday comes around. As people are eating food and giving Naruto presents. As everyone has basically given him a giant pile of gifts. Anything from strange trinkets, weapons, scrolls, and jutsus, scrolls containing jutsus, or anything like that. And those would all be Naruto's presents. As Naruto would sigh, as he thought, did my dad forget my birthday again? Maybe I'll never meet him. As then, there would be a knock on the doors, or of the giant hall they were in, and of the giant sort of temple they were in. As there would be a knock on the door, and they would open the door, as a man with a sort of sand-colored hat with blue symbols on it would walk in, as the man would have yellow eyes, and his teeth would be sharp. The man would have blue symbols on his cheeks and on his forehead, and on his hands and feet, but you can't see his feet, you can only see his hands and his face. As the man would basically have a satchel at his side, as the man would walk up to Naruto and would say, "Hey, sorry I'm late, kid. I heard it was your birthday, so I came to give you it. So, about a couple of years ago, I went searching for something for you. Don't really know if you like books or knowledge or anything like that, but here you go." As the man would pull out of his satchel a scroll, as the scroll would have it would have two ends on it, as the two ends of the scroll would basically, they'd be sand colored with blue symbols. As the old man would then say, hey, this is the last and this is by far the last of the scrolls of the first, and this is by far the last copy of the last scroll of the 10 demon lords. As the man would then say, thought you might like it after all. I heard you were kind of a collector, but I don't really know if you read this stuff. As Naruto would say, I read it almost every day. And, thank you, sir. As the old man, and as Naruto would say, thank you, as the man would then say, shukaku. As Naruto would open the scroll almost immediately, while the man would basically walk to a part of the room and basically would grab some sake. And then basically would pour himself some sake. And a slice of cake. As Naruto would begin reading the scroll, I'll be narrating the scroll entry, okay? Entry number 10, N out of 10. This scroll contains the 10th and final demon lord. The strongest, and one, as you probably know, he is equal to power of the other 10 demon lords. Demon Lord Shukaku. A giant, terrifying, one-tailed raccoon. That is made of sand and has blue symbols on it. Yellow eyes. It controls both sand and wind. It once single-handedly destroyed the Leaf Village. But no one outside of the Leaf knows why. Allow me to elaborate a bit. I'll pause the what if. Just allow me to elaborate a bit. Now, this book was basically made 10 years before Naruto's birth, so y'all might be wondering, wait, how? Well, allow me to explain. That was not the first time Shukaku attacked the Leaf Village. You see, once Shukaku fell in love with a woman named Mito. However, he had no kids with Mito. Mito, of course, was an Uzumaki who was forced to marry a man named Hashirama. As he would basically have been angry about this fact and destroyed the whole village. But back to the scroll entry. As Naruto would continue reading. He used to live his living quarters unknown. Power level same as the other 9, infinite. As Naruto would close the scroll and immediately would say, "Excuse me, where's the guy who gave me the scroll?" As basically the Raikage would say, "Over there, drinking sake and eating cake," as he'd point at a man who looked like As he would point over to a man who looked like this. Yes, this is Shukaku's human form. As Naruto would run over to the man and say, "Hey, so, you're my dad?" As Shukaku would then say, "Ah, that was a lot quicker than I expected. I at least thought it would take an hour for you to want to read that thing." As Naruto would say, "I'm a giant. I find the subject nice." As Shukaku would then say, "Good to know, kid, good to know. So yeah, I'm your Uncle Shukaku. And I'm your dad, Shukaku. Now that all the pleasantries are over, take my hand." As Naruto would hold Shukaku's hand, as then sand would begin to swirl around them, and they would disappear. That is where I'm ending this part off. Hope y'all enjoyed. Peace. Tell me what do you think the ship should be? Who? Want to make it an OC? I'll make it an OC. Want to make it a Cloud Ninja? I'll make it a Cloud Ninja. Want to make it a gender bend ship? I'll make it a gender bend ship. Want to make it a Biju or a half Biju like Naruto? I'll do it. Tell me the ship, please. And goodbye.